What's up? We are live. I am in Colorado. What's up, everybody? Hopefully some people tune in soon, especially Faye Boykin. You better be watching us. What's up? We are live. And you got to mute your computer so that you can hear me. But yeah, we are on the air, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I am here in Washington, D.C. I'm at the Gaylord Hotel down by the waterfront.
Hold on, you're at a Gaylord?
I'm at a Gaylord.
Speak on that. Tell the people about a Gaylord, man. If you don't know Gaylord, listen to what he's got to say about Gaylord.
Man, the Gaylord is a very, very high-end brand of Marriott. This place is huge. There's a huge Ferris wheel right outside my window, right next to the waterfront. And I haven't been down there yet, but there's either a replica or an old, unused Air Force One airplane right down the way that I'm going to go look at.
What? An unused Air Force One airplane?
I don't know if it's a replica or what it is, but there is an Air Force One down the way. But this place is fantastic. We're in a suite, so we're enjoying ourselves.
The last time I was in an Air Force One airplane was on the Division II, when you go in there and you shoot people and jump out of the plane. For Jeff Boykin, if he's watching me, he might be in that plane right now because he's off 10 days.
Getting ready.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, so we got Jeff Boykin in the chat room. If you can see on your computer, what's up, Jeff Boykin? Thanks for joining us. So anyhow, guys, look, Jay and I have been friends since '98. We wanted to start doing a weekly live. There's a lot of reasons to this, of which will all be revealed over time. But today, we're going to give you a little bit of a backdrop on our story together and why we decided to do this. And hopefully you'll join us for this journey. It's going to be the rest of our lives we're going to do this. So get ready for a nice one. Would you like to fill in some information on that too, Jay?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited about this. You know, you and I, we have known each other for 21 years. As you put out there in your teaser, we met randomly, seemingly randomly, on a basketball court in Boulder. And there's a funny story from my end behind that. I didn't even know that basketball court existed. And I was coming back from the mountains. I had some friends that I had gone to college with who were showing me around Boulder. And we just happened to drive down Canyon Boulevard. And I saw that basketball court the day before. And I saw a handful of guys out there balling. And I said, you know what? I'm going to come back there the next day. And I came back the next day, and that is when you and I met. So that was fate. That wasn't even an accident. That was fate.
That was crazy, man. I mean, like, okay, so that was just so how I got to that basketball court. I had just moved to town like the day before, and I was, you know, like just trying to the younger people, like we didn't have as many options as far as what we can do. Can you tell them to keep it down? We didn't have as many options. So basically, we had to go. No, I'm getting a bunch of feedback. So basically, I jumped in the car that morning. I was like, I got my hoop stuff, my shoes. I think I had a ball, and I was like, I'm going to find a place to shoot ball. And so I drove down Canyon, and I just saw it out the side of my window. I'm like, that's the place I'm going to play ball. And then right there is when we met. Did we even play on the same team? Do you remember?
I do remember. I was thinking about that on the airplane this morning. I think that the reason why you and I connected is not only did we play on the same team that day, but we were winning. So, you know, for those folks that hadn't played a lot of pickup basketball, if you win, you stay on. If you lose, then you got to sit out and wait for your chance to come back up. And we were winning, and so we were high-fiving and having a good time. And so that particular day, you know, we connected that way just because we were winning. I think that had we lost, one of us might have left or whatever the case may be. But yeah, we were actually winning that day. And then when it was all done, we started talking to each other afterwards because we were having we were kind of reminiscent on how good the day had gone. So
Yeah.
we won that day. We did take our share of losses on that court too.
Yeah. For you hoop heads out there, double rims, double rims. That's what. So like some outdoor basketball courts, because people dunk and they hang on the rim, so they make them double, which means your shot gets perfected on those courts, because if it hits any part of the rim, it gets ejected like out of the way. I mean, it was nuts, man. Remember that, the double rims?
Yes, I do. I do. It
That
was
was
either nothing but net or the ball was bouncing off into the field.
none but chains, or you, yeah, running to get the ball. So,
Yes. Yes.
so share with us, like, so what we decided to do is reminisce on this story, and let's give them the why we want to do this, right? Like, so I'll kick it off. Like, so I've been doing business and working on my business for about 20 years, and I just had this overwhelming feeling and this need to share this information that I've gathered over 20 years. I've done it from the, for lack of words, the entrepreneur sector, business owner sector. Started from very meager beginnings to what I'm doing now, which is still humble, but a lot of lessons in that. And you are coming from the corporate side, correct?
That's true. That's true. And man, don't sell yourself short. I mean, I've watched you grow from, somebody who didn't even have a place to live, all the way to the man that you are today, business owner, and all those great things. But yeah, my path was a little bit different. I took a corporate path. I worked for a lot of different companies over the 20 years that you and I've known each other. Um, and I work for a company now called Gogo Business Aviation, headquartered in Chicago, but my division is in Broomfield, Colorado. So I spend time between the two offices, work with a lot of fantastic people. But I've had the opportunity over the time that I've been there to build. It started out as just me. I was the only finance person there, and now I have a team of 20 fantastic people. So it's been a fun journey.
Wow. And congratulations are in order. My man has just earned the title of VP of Finance for Gogo Air.
That is true. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really do. I started out as a senior financial analyst, which was, basically, they gave me the senior part. There was nobody else there, so it was kind of funny. It was I was the only guy there, but having the opportunity to work my way up and build a team, and then about a year ago, I actually adopted another team and added to that. So I went from being by myself to building to a team of 6, and then now growing to a team of 20 over that time. So it's been a wild ride.
That is just a fantastic story, though. So for you guys, for me, watching Jay grow and take these different corporate positions, if you're in corporate America and you're working in corporate America, Jay is just one hell of an example on how to get things done and keep moving that bar and pushing that envelope and earning the promotions that he's earned. And I've been able and blessed to be able to watch him on that journey. It's been crazy.
Yeah, man, and I appreciate you being there. And you've actually, one of the interesting things, you talked about, why we're doing this and why YouTube. And one of the interesting things that you and I have talked about that we've shared with each other is that we found each other when we were both in kind of a rough spot. We were in kind of a low place.
Out in the wilderness.
And we needed each other.
Yeah.
And despite all the things that we've been through, good, bad, or otherwise, we have always had the opportunity to speak into each other's lives in different ways. And one of the interesting things that happened just today, so my father-in-law gave me a book that's called Balcony People.
Okay.
And it's written by a woman named Joyce Heatherly. And it's a very, very short book. I read it on the plane. But the premise of this is about affirmation.
Balcony. I'm gonna type it in the chat room.
Balcony People.
Book by who?
Her name is Joyce Heatherly.
Hold it up. Joyce Heatherly. Okay, I'm gonna type it in. Cool. What's up, CC? What's up, Danny Ramos? I see you. Okay, so go ahead with your story, my man.
Yeah, so this book was given to me by my father-in-law, and it's really short. I read it in like an hour on the plane before I fell asleep. But the basic premise of this, so there's a lot of discussion of faith in there, a lot of scriptural references, which is great. And then, but the main premise is that in each of our lives, we have people who are what she refers to as basement people. And those are those people that are kind of hiding out in those dark places, and they're dragging us down. They say things or do things that drag us down.
Okay.
And then there are balcony people, those people that are up, if you imagine, up on that balcony, and they are speaking praise into our life and speaking positive things in our life, and they are lifting us up.
Wow.
And, so if you think about those people in your life who are balcony people, I have people like my brother, what's up, Jeff, who's on the call, who has always been a balcony person for me. My mom, my wife. There are people in scripture, I've always found, obviously, Jesus. I love King David. I love the Apostle Paul because of their stories. But you have always been one of those people for me. No matter what we've been going through, you've always said, "Hey, man, you can do this. You got this. You can do it." Whether it was us playing flag football together or pickup basketball together, or you lifted me up and helping me to make the decision to get into rental properties and becoming a landlord. So that's part of the thing that I want to share with other people, is to speak affirmation from the perspective that we've had from our 2-decade-long friendship.
Oh man, that was a good segue. I appreciate that, man. Like I feel the same way. You've always been on the balcony for me. I've even used that in a funny way. Like my balcony people need to be replaced because like when I get stuck and I'm like, man, I can't do it today. Let me call Jay. He'll lift me up. Well, you've been on that balcony so long that quite often you'll be like, you're going to figure it out, man. You'll be all right. I need some uplifting right now. I mean, oh man. So yeah, keep numerous balcony people, folks. You're going to need them. So like, you shared where you would come from. You moved here from Louisiana. So I was coming from Minnesota to Boulder, and I was just out in the wilderness, man. I was like, I had a savings account and my basketball stuff. And you and I played basketball for, I think it was like 2 weeks straight. We washed our cars. Once again, hoop heads, Jeff Boykin, Michael Jordan playoff time, right? It was right. June of '98. So basically we were playing ball all day, getting pizza and pound cake, as much beer money as we could scrounge up, and go get in front of a couch and get ready to watch the game. We were both
somebody's couch.
We were both basically homeless. Like
right.
I was living in a youth hostel. If you don't know what that is, it's a place where you pay $400 a month. I share the bathroom with like all these people, and it's like one step above homeless. And Jay, you were renting with some people, right? Just some friends.
I was hanging with some friends from college. I wasn't even renting; they were just letting me crash there. So, and I totally imposed upon that. Not only was I crashing there, but then I brought this new homie. I don't even think I knew your last name at that time.
Yeah.
And, so you were coming over and hanging with me. And so,
I remember I followed you to your place and you ran in the place to try to, I got this dude. And then I came up to, you know what I mean? Because
right.
we're both from the South. It's like a Southern thing. Like, I'm coming by, man.
Right.
Like, that's just what we do. It's like,
right.
What's up? Right. And nobody does that anymore. No, don't knock the door. You can talk to the Ring doorbell. You don't knock on the door. But that was crazy. But so, and then let's move on to how this transpired. So about 2 weeks goes by, guys. And guess what happened? We started running out of money. So we were like, car payment's gonna be due soon. What you gonna do, man? And you were like, we both never ever like decided we're gonna go work together. I didn't have the skill set. I had no degree. Jay has a college degree from LSU. So he had those opportunities. I had sales opportunities. And so I went out and picked up the phone book. I think you came to my room that day. I was like flipping through the yellow pages, remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go work here.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, good luck with that.
It's literally the company I ended up owning later down the line.
Yeah.
I found it in the yellow pages.
Yeah. It was amazing to me that you did that. Just it seemed like it was completely random. And you found this place called Auto Search USA. And I'm like, okay, well, all right. I'm gonna put my resume together and throw that out there and see what happens. And the first job that I landed was with a place for people that are from Colorado and have been there for a while. There was this old department stores, long since closed, called Conrad's. And I went to work for them as their accountant because they had just gotten rid of their old accountant, and I came in, and they had like 20 plus small mom and pop stores up and down the Front Range of Colorado, and so I went to work for them for a little bit, and that is another unique experience that we can talk about later about adding value, because I found a way to. I knew nothing about retail. Definitely didn't know anything about retail accounting, but I found a way to add value, and it led to another opportunity later.
Well, so like CC, Boykin, Danny Ramos. So like guys, we're doing this. We're still talking about the why we're doing this, but each week we're going to post a topic, and then we'll discuss it. Right now, you're joining us for our inaugural video chat. Like this is the first time we just decided to do this like Thursday, and we're live on Monday. I posted the wrong date. It's a disaster, but the show must go on. And so that brings me back more to the why. And I am so happy to be doing this with you because we have so different skill sets. Like one of my whys is I want people to know that, okay, you don't have a master's degree, you don't have a bachelor's degree, you don't have this. Let's not focus on what you don't or can't do. Let's focus on what you can do.
Right.
And I believe that in spite of myself, I've become an example. Like you can do this. You can get up, you can go to work, you can make things happen. And so we're going to share with you guys on this channel the educated way, the uneducated way, how they intersect, how they help each other grow. And I'm not saying by any means don't get a degree. I'm like, look, if that's your calling, get a degree. For me, it just didn't work out. But that's my why. And my other why, guys, I got to be real about it, is I want my kids to have. My kids are 9 and 12, and I would like them to have a catalog they can look through. If they're anything like me, I didn't listen to my father for some time when I left the house, like 10, 15 years, because I just thought I knew it all. But as I get older, I start to see that the lessons he was trying to teach me, he was just trying to help me. And so I understand that now. But so I think I'm going to go through the same thing with my kids. If you have kids in the room, give me a thumbs up. But later on, I want them to have this catalog, and they can be like, oh, there's Uncle Jay. Let's see what Uncle Jay had to say, because they ain't going to want to listen to that. You feeling me?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and the great thing is, so, I've got a son who just turned 19 yesterday.
Yeah.
And so great young man, and you've known him. You've been a part of his life since day one.
Like 2 days out of the hospital.
Yeah, 2 days out of the hospital, and so you've been Uncle Ronnie all this time, and so there's even been times that you've had the opportunity to speak into his life a little bit when I couldn't. So just super fired up to be able to share all of those things, to be able to do it with you. I'm looking forward to potentially bringing some other people in our lives, whether it's my brother or others that can be a part of this as well. But we have had a very blessed friendship, very blessed lives, and God was absolutely a part of all of it. He wrote a story that we couldn't even imagine.
Hey man, I know, man. It's just like, I think it's like YouTube has just been a good platform, but like we've been having these discussions. It's funny how you do it. You're like, I wonder why this happened, and we would talk about it for like an hour, and then at the end of the day, you're like, man, we met on a basketball court. Like, how is this even possible that we even stayed friends? And yeah, we got other people to bring in on this channel. There is a gentleman in Louisiana who has been working. He went to the Army, and then he went into the fire. He's a fireman, but he's been a fireman for almost 20 years, and his title is captain now, right, Jeff? Jay, I
Yeah,
get y'all.
yeah. It's my brother, by the way, but yeah, he's a captain. Super proud of him. I did that for a little while, and then he did it better. So he's another great example of a great dad. And he's doing his thing differently as well. And so the great thing is that we have the opportunity to talk about success taking a bunch of different paths.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I need to breathe hope into people, right? Like, we all spend so much time thinking about the things we cannot do. And then you look at an example like Jeff, yourself, like even you to be VP of finance at a major globally traded company like yours is unheard of, right? I mean, most of the time you got to have a master's, and you've achieved that without the master's.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's pretty common now that people are expecting folks to have their MBA. I had somebody just a week or so ago say, "Where'd you get your MBA from?" Excuse me, and I said, "Well, I've got my MBA in time in."
Yeah.
I do not have an MBA, but I've just worked really, really hard and always found ways to, as I mentioned before, just to continue to add value and never stop learning. That's one of the things that my father-in-law kind of instilled. He talks about it all the time. He's a big John Maxwell fan. So he's got John Maxwell books and things on leadership, but he instills in the things that he does and the people that are on his team that you never stop growing, that if you stop growing as a leader, then you're going to get passed.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So what's going on? What's on the docket? Why are you in, I know you're in corporate America, but why are you out there in DC this week?
So I am out here with my lovely wife, Tracy, and here with her dad and her mom and her brother and his wife. And so my wife just started a new venture in joining her dad and joining her brother with a organization called Symmetry Financial Group. And Symmetry does a big conference here every year in DC. And they do it at big. There's thousands of people here at this beautiful Gaylord Convention Center. So I'm out here supporting my wife and helping my wife in her new venture, and going to learn a few things as well. They always have some fantastic speakers that they bring in. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, man, I'm actually doing something similar in a couple of weeks. I'm going to Valuetainment's Vault in Dallas. So it'd be my first time ever going to Texas. And I'll be going there. CC and Danny Ramos, I'll be down there with Chris Haskins for 4 days. It's going to be off the chain. Hopefully we learn a lot of information that we can bring back to both of these channels and discuss it.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward. I hope you have a great time, especially you're going with your brother, Chris, right?
Yeah, that's right. Like, Chris called me up. I got to share this with the world. So CC, Danny, Chris and I are 6 years apart. So we don't do stuff that normal siblings do. I think, Jay, you kind of relate to this too. Like, we love each other to death, but we don't have any vacations together outside of the ones we went on with our parents. or Mexico or whatever. That dude called me like a month ago and was like, Ronnie, I've never asked you to do anything with me before. Will you go to this convention with me? And it almost brought a tear to my eye. I was like, oh, I was like, wow, my baby brother's asking me to do something. I'm like, okay. It was like 15 minutes later, I had my tickets. I was like, let's go.
That's
I'm looking
awesome.
forward to it. You know,
y'all are gonna have a great time, and I'm looking forward to, like I said, doing some things that we can bring others into this, including my brother. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, you heard that, Jeffrey. You're gonna be on this channel on camera with the fireman hat on, maybe. I don't know.
Full bunker gear. Full bunker gear. Sitting on the truck.
I was messing with him this morning. I was like, you're gonna be working as a fireman for so long, you're gonna be one of these dudes that has your fire jacket as a robe when you retire. You know, like in the Army, you still wear your patent leathers or your blues to church. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, you've been in for a long time.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great.
Oh, and so we can also tell these guys we're going to probably be doing something with some of the younger crowd too. Jay, you have a 19-year-old who's going to be, he's doing YouTube gaming and stuff of that nature. And so we'll probably have him on and get his perspective on some of this stuff as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I didn't have the opportunity to mention yet that I'm a pastor at my church, a men's pastor there. And, you know, so I'm going to be launching my own YouTube channel here before too long and talking about different things, and including spiritual things on leadership. We'll continue to do these things, and you know, so we'll have the opportunity to mix all of these things together. So it's going to be exciting. We don't know what we're doing, but we're gonna figure it out as we go.
You know, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna put it together. We're gonna create a list so we can email you guys when we're gonna go live. We're gonna pick topics. You know, it's gonna be simple stuff, and we enjoy the chat. Like Cece's like part of the family now, man. I've seen her in the chat so much, and Danny Ramos. So we appreciate the support. Thank you guys for showing up for us. Anything else you want to talk about today?
No, man, it's been great. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to next week when we have the opportunity to do it, and we'll get the day right next time.
Yeah, we'll get the day right. So, all right, we'll come up with a topic for next week. Let's see if there's any questions in the chat room.
All right.
If you guys have any questions today, including Faye Boykin, go ahead and drop it in the chat room. We'll take a look at it, and we can go from there. Let's see. I don't see any questions right now. No man has ever been on his deathbed and wish he would have. Oh, I like that. Danny Ramos says, no man has ever been on his deathbed and wish he would have worked more. I was almost there myself. Spend time with the family. Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, and that'll be part of the story that comes out in my life, because I did my best to nearly mess up my life because of putting work in the wrong place. So we'll definitely unpack that a little bit more at another time.
All right, man. Well, cool, dude. Let's wrap it up. Go have fun in DC. Thank you guys for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Jay, tell everybody what the name of your channel is.
Right now, it's just very simply called the Jay Boykin channel. And I will be launching here probably in the next 30 days is the plan. So I'm connected to Ronnie. You can see my channel as part of his subscription. So you can find me there. You can subscribe, and that way you'll get notifications when the first one comes out. So looking forward to that as well.
We'll do a big premiere for it. That sounds really good, man. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Post comments in the comments box. We want to answer your questions. We want to be as much value as we can for you guys. Quite frankly, we have a lot of fun doing this just together alone. But we want to help people. So if you got questions, drop them in the comments box. We'll get back to you.
Absolutely. Thanks to everybody.
All right, man. I'm going to hit the stop broadcast button and we can chat.
All right, man.